Welcome back to an incredible episode of Black Girl Healing Session, where we focus on everything that has to do with healing our mind, body, and soul. So if you're interested in today's topic, please stay tuned. So this week's episode is titled Emotionally Unavailable, Emotions on Autopilot. And I'm going to give a few examples on how I relate to this. And, we're just going to have a conversation about it because I'm pretty sure a lot of people are, feeling like they are emotionally unavailable in some instance, or they might not even know that they are, But let's just hop right into today's topic. So, of course, an emotionally unavailable person, it is very hard for them to receive love or even express their emotions to others because I think it has to do with a fear of, letting people in because you've been hurt so many times. That's probably why a lot of people develop, this behavior because they are afraid to, give love or even accept love from other people. So, and of course, when you're in a relationship, so say you're an emotionally unavailable woman or man, most of the time you will definitely look for faults in a partner, any little mistake to push them away so that they won't be able to get in and they won't be able to get you to a vulnerable state. And I relate to this so much because I bottle up my emotions so much, and I think this is one trait that I really don't like about myself because it's hard for me to accept love from other people. And I think it also stems from not loving myself. I'm on my journey of learning to love myself properly, but throughout the years, it was hard for me to receive love because it's hard for me to be vulnerable. Because most of the time when I get to a vulnerable state, people take advantage of my vulnerability, So that's why I don't like to get to that place. I don't like to let people in to a point where I'm showing all of myself, So this really resonates with me really majorly because sometimes I go on in life going with the flow, day-to-day routine, and I never feel like I have a moment to actually feel vulnerable, be able to break down and say I'm not strong enough to do this. That's why I really want to do a topic about being, having to be strong, especially being a black woman. People see us as the strong black woman. And most of the time, we don't want to be strong all the time. We're not superhuman. We want to be able to feel like we can break down or we can be vulnerable and somebody is there to catch us, But most of the time, we never feel safe enough to be able to feel like, okay, if I fall, I have somebody to catch me, or I'm not gonna fall and hit my face. You see what I'm saying? So most of the time, that is why a lot of us as black women, we're so emotionally unavailable. And I know you hear a lot how black men, I'm not bashing black men, so don't say I am. But a lot of the time they say we're too hard, we're too masculine. But they don't realize is that when you put us on this pedestal of being this strong black woman, that we hold it down and take care of everything, which they are so used to seeing if they live with a single mother. They never got to see their mother be vulnerable because she had to take care of everything. You get what I'm saying? So they put us on this pedestal of where it have to be the strong black woman, but being that strong black woman, you're not going to be able to rest into your feminine energy because you have to be strong for everybody. You don't have time to even focus on being soft and loving and nurturing. You don't have time for that because you have to be a go-getter and figure it out. So how do you have time to be soft and nurturing? You see what I'm saying? So of course we develop this behavior of being emotionally unavailable, and like our emotions are on autopilot because we don't got time to even think about our emotions because we have to take care of everybody. And most of the time we have to put ourselves on the back burner to make sure everybody is taken care of, and then we get the crumbs at the end. So I think over the years I became this very hard, sometimes cold person and don't know how to receive love anymore because of that label. And not just of that label, but all the childhood traumas and stuff that I have endured that made me hard to receive love. Even like dealing with like my first love, and I would say I was vulnerable. That was probably one of the vulnerable times in my life that I can remember being like truly vulnerable, because being with that person, I lost my mother. So of course it seemed like I was being clingy, but I had abandonment issues at that point. I had already had them, but they intensified when I lost my mother. So yeah, I mean, yeah, I was clingy, but hearing from somebody else and not the person that you're with saying that you said this, you are clingy. Well, they said to them that you are clingy. That made me, I don't know, hold back a whole lot. So later down the years, I would never open up to anybody else, because when I was at my most vulnerable moment, the person that I loved at that time did not see that. And yeah, we were teenagers, we were young, and I understand that now. But as a young girl going through all of that, well, young woman going through all of that, it hardened me a whole lot. So after that, I didn't open up to nobody, and I'm still struggling with opening up. And then I guess when I first met my husband, I did open up, but then there was a point in the beginning where he tried to leave, and then those abandonment issues kicked in, and that's when my emotions cut off. I really believe that's when they at the beginning they had cut off, then when I was starting to open up. And then when a person like, oh, I don't want to be with you no more, or try to push you away for the dumbest reasons, then that's when it actually started. And so for a long time I struggled with even letting him in to like it deep into my soul, like to a point where I was just vulnerable and open. It's been very, very hard to actually get to that place again, because I don't want to be hurt again. I've been married 10 years this year. In November it'll be 10 years. And I still struggle with completely allowing him to love me, because of the fear of letting somebody love me and then having to lose them. So I have a lot of things I need to work on within when it has to do with letting love in. So yeah, I'm very emotionally unavailable at certain points, but I'm growing to a point where I'm okay with letting love in, So this is a tough one, because it's hard to fall in love when love is so unpredictable, It's very hard. And then it's harder when your partner is not as open as you might need them to be. Does So they're somewhat emotionally unavailable as well. And it's like, it's hard to be able to, I don't know, open up when the other person is not opening up as well. So it's been like a roller coaster for many, many years, trying to, heal all these wounds and, actually become emotionally available. Because I want to be loved. I will say I want to be loved, but it's another story when I actually can't receive the love that I want to receive, So, of course, I tell you all the time to get your journals out, get your favorite pen, and you use this as a journal topic or prompt, and really, do some self-reflection and see if you have any of these traits when it comes to being emotionally unavailable. And are your emotions on autopilot? Do you just go with the flow and pretend that you are in love or you are receiving love, but in reality, you're not? Or sometimes you might be seeking this perfection that doesn't exist, So, take some time and do some self-reflection and see if this resonates with you. Or, of course, I always tell you to share if you care to somebody that this might resonate with them, and help them heal from being emotionally unavailable and being so cold. Because having a cold heart is not gonna help you in any way. So it's time for us to heal our mind, bodies, and soul. No matter what point or stage we are in, it is time to start healing ourselves. So I'm not going to make this super duper long. I just want you to know that every topic that I talk about, I am currently experiencing or I have experienced it in my life. So this is raw emotions, raw, everything. I talk about stuff at current times, like what I'm going through. So that I'm going through it just like you going through it. So it's not fake. It's not none of that. It's the real deal. And I want to be a light to other people, to help them understand that, yes, it's okay to not be okay, but also we need to start focusing on ourselves and start healing ourselves, and really not worry about what society thinks of us, because we already have it hard being black and being a woman. So we just need to focus on healing our mind, bodies, and souls, and just be better people and not worry about what other people got to say, because they're going to talk. They talked about Jesus. They're going to talk about you too. So just continue to be on this healing journey with me. And I hope you all have a great week. And I will be back next week for another episode of Unapologetically Shaun. And did I tell you can listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Breaker, Pocket Cast, Radio Public, Anchor, and always every Wednesday on my YouTube channel, Life with Shaun. So go and subscribe, go and follow, Unapologetically Shaun, Black Girl Healing Session on all of those platforms. All right, have a great week. Bye.